Hey everybody, this is Mad Matt Carter. Thank you so much for watching the AIWF Network YouTube channel as well as the AIWF Ringside Wrestling channel. If you like what you see, please do us a big favor. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications every time we post new videos on both our channels. It means a lot to us, and thanks a lot for watching once again. Hi, wrestling fans, and welcome to another, hopefully, what will be a riveting post-fair show edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined as always by Hall of Famers Brian and Reagan Danzig. Don't know if the big boss man, Rick Diesel, is going to stop in tonight. He's probably doing, whatever he does on Sunday, which is...
Well, they were at the fair all week, so I'm pretty sure they are probably cleaning, not tearing down, but cleaning up from the fair, I would assume.
Yeah, so we certainly hope that was very successful. Oh, I got to show y'all my new shirt, if I can manage to do this.
Don't knock your stuff down.
But look at this.
Oh, look at that.
Very nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, boy, bouncy. Yeah, so I got my Javon Evans shirt finally this week. It took them, I ordered it like 3 weeks ago. I guess they have to wait till they get so many orders before they print them and ship them.
Yeah.
So, but I saw some of, I got to be careful not to say his real name, some of Javon's relatives posting pictures with the shirts on Facebook and tagged it to his, his real name account, which you are not going to learn on this show from me, because he's still communicating with everybody, all his old wrestling buds from here. And if fans start going on there, I'm pretty sure he'll shut it down. So, but anyway, Javon Evans, did y'all see the big announcement this week about the NXT show in St. Louis? He's going to wrestle Randy Orton on that show. Now that is a step up in competition. Wow. Yeah. So we are so proud of Javon Evans. I think everybody that's ever met the kid is proud of him because, his persona, his wrestling persona is kind of cocky and all that kind of stuff. But man, when he's away from the ring, he's just the nicest, most humble kid. Yes sir, no sir. You can tell he was raised right. Mama did a good job with him. Traditional Southerner, he'll beat you to death with yes sir and no sir and yes ma'am and no ma'am. And so I'm thinking, he just taken to the WWE style like a duck to water. So just continued well wishes for Jay Malachi and onward and upward, my friend. Good luck. So probably not going to see him in any more fair shows. Not for the foreseeable.
No.
Probably not till he's 50.
Yeah, save that money wisely. Yeah. Invest wisely.
Yes. Seems like, I don't know, but it does seem like, just from looking around on the internets and everything, like a lot of these younger guys, I think, do a little better job of keeping it, maybe. They're not out there with big old fur coats and big gold necklaces and watches and cowboy boots and stuff that probably costs, $5,000. So
yeah,
but I do miss the days.
I think there's probably people in place in NXT like to help the young people manage their money, like help train them how to save their money. And I know, while CM Punk was hurt, he was spending time down there working with the young guys. And I heard him say 15 years ago, it ain't how much you make, it's how much you save. And he was always talking about what a tightwad he was and how it's so important not to live above your means because you never know. He said, one wrong move, you blow out a knee, your wrestling career is over. And what you've saved is what you got. And that's it, And so you got to be careful. So,
yeah.
I know.
Not about rest. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was like, I know he's getting I'm sure there's plenty of people down there that will reiterate CM Punk's message. Even when Dusty was still there, they said he used to joke with people. He was like, Vince better be glad I didn't save my money, because Vince has been employed in NXT for so many years. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Because what I heard, like one of Dusty's biggest problems was he tried to compete with Flair with his spending, but he didn't make as much money as Flair.
Mm.
So that was kind of one of his biggest issues with money.
Well, I mean, Flair's pretty much broke now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But even back then, yeah.
Yeah, because Flair definitely lived the Flair lifestyle. Like that was him. That wasn't, that didn't seem like that was a gimmick. Or it started as a gimmick and he just morphed into that character, and then his rotted brain just like, I'm just Ric Flair.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've heard it said that if he came into a bar in the 80s and he was in the right kind of mood, he was setting the bar up for the night. If he was in a good mood, he was buying drinks for everybody. So, because he loved getting hammered drunk, but he, even more so, I've been told, loved getting other people hammered drunk and then getting them so drunk they'll pass out in the plant or, take a shit in the parking lot or do something like that,
Yeah.
Oh, mercy. But anyway,
Lord.
so we saw the return. I got it. Reagan, you sent me the video. I'm gonna try to get it up on the screen here. I gotta mute that sound. But yeah, the Tough Customer returned to the AIWF last night. That's a character we hadn't seen in quite a while.
Seems like he has shows up a lot at the fair. So
yeah. I talked to him in the back. Yeah, he said he loves the fair shows.
And so, but there's a Tough Customer. It looks like it's Mickey Fulp and a Tough Customer against Kevin Phoenix and JT Moss. Boy, that's a hodgepodge. A couple of hodgepodge.
It is a hodgepodge,
and that's the beauty of the fair shows. You just
and
you would never see that on a regular card.
And then everybody. I didn't get Mickey Fulp dancing out with after the Tough Customer.
Dancing to the customer's music.
Wow.
He was busting a move too. He was very impressive.
Yeah, get out of the shot, dumbass. All right, sorry.
It looked like somebody was telling him that.
It looked like Mickey was telling him. And there's referee Devin. We don't see him that much anymore, but good to see him there too.
No, he was there. We had another. I don't remember that ref's name though. Did he come from the Ivanhoe? We had a lot of people from Ivanhoe group. JD Anderson and
Matt Bear.
The American Kid America was one. BBC was there last night, and his tag team partner and then so there was a lot of people there that we usually don't see. So. But it was fun. It was fun, and we had a good amount of people, and they were loud, and they were into it.
That's good. Yeah, it looks like they're giving Mickey Fulp a hard time. The Tough Customer doesn't like that either. It's almost like the Mickey Sucks is hurting his ears. But yeah. But yeah, okay. So I do see a lot of. I'm looking in the crowd. I see a lot of new faces. So that's good. That's the idea of the fair show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's one of the advantages for us is getting some new eyes on us that may not have heard of us before, or maybe heard of us, but some people think if you're not on national TV that you don't know what you're doing, and that's just not the case. And they come and it's like, well, it's free, and then they watch and like, oh, okay, these guys actually do know what they're doing. This is pretty cool. Yeah,
that's pretty good. Oh, look, that Tough Customer. He breaks down JT Moss right away. Yeah.
Well,
didn't last long.
No. He's claiming he's pulling his mask. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, he's a traditionalist.
Yeah. He pulled my mask with that shoulder tackle, ref. You see that happen all the
time.
Yeah, the Tough Customer is one of those guys. It's like thinks he's 10 foot tall and bulletproof. That's a deep '90s country reference.
Yeah, here's Kevin Phoenix asking him if he's okay, and then clobbers him.
And just to point out, this is handheld footage, not professional footage.
Yeah, this looks
This
like
is
it was shot from
somebody-
the ringside table right here with a phone.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, the AIWF fan cam videos that dominate this Ringside Wrestling channel are shot with a phone from Ringside. So we've technology's come a long way since the 90s, that's for sure. You know, some of our shows I look at from the 90s, and it's just like, wow, it's like, how did we even enjoy TV back then? You know,
Yeah.
Cameras are so grainy.
Mm-hmm.
What did we? Oh, we're watching Eastbound and Down right now, and it's very fuzzy on our TV.
Yeah, and it's like that's even like from the
mid
2000s. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. I was thinking that show was relatively new. I wouldn't call a TV show old until it's 20 years, but
yeah, they laid into the poor customer. He you know how it is when you're either new in the ring or not been around for a while. They definitely light you up.
Oh,
yeah. Look like the people are enjoying it, and the tough customer.
Oh yeah, one more time, chance of one more time, and then here comes the big boy.
Oh, it was nice enough to close the customer's eyes.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
So he didn't have to watch. Oh, the poor tough customer.
Can't catch a break.
No, you can't.
Life is tough.
So if you got a comment or anything you want to throw in the chat, we'll try to look at that. If you're on Facebook, of course, if you're on YouTube, you can comment too. But yeah, so fair show fun. I hate that I missed it, but I had family commitments I had to take care of this weekend. But the fair show is always one of my favorites because basically you get into the fair for free because you're helping with the wrestling show. You're providing entertainment for the evening, and then you get to walk around and eat all the fair food in between shows. You know, so that's a lot of fun to me.
I don't know. The lemonades were $15.
Yeah, but were they?
Not even freshly squeezed.
Oh wow! Could you even get them? Could you get them refilled for like 8 or something like that if you went ahead and bought
I didn't see. I paid $8 for mine, unfortunately, because I wanted strawberry lemonade. Was not what I was expecting. I was sadly disappointed. My children got ripped off by Carney though, so they got their first mark. They marked them first thing, so. Lydia played a game, and after she was done, he's like, "Oh, that's $25." So,
oh Lord,
I was like, "Well, you got to learn that fair stuff the hard way."
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to us all. You know, I'll tell you what to be careful of. If I know you guys don't go, but if any of you people go to the NASCAR races in Charlotte. And I'm telling you this from experience, my friends. If you're over there across the street from the Speedway, you know, we joke and we call it the bootleg souvenir station, but it's not. It's just they're not authorized. They don't pay to be on the Speedway property. They pay the campground to be there. They have a pick a number game there. And just stay away from it, my friends. You will lose your ass. You know, I mean, I've never seen $20 disappear so fast in all my life, except that time that I got caught on a 3-card Monty back when I was a kid. But yeah, my wife doesn't even like to talk about that. But yeah, a lot of ways you can lose your money. This happened about 6-7 years ago. So, but yeah, gotta watch those carnies.
Yeah.
It looks like tough customer Mickey Fulp got the advantage now. Now Kevin Phoenix is too experienced in wrestling. He should know better.
Well, it's like I say though, it's easier said than done when you're seeing your partner getting double teamed. You just sometimes you just react without thinking.
Right.
And yeah, it does happen.
Now the customer built him up. Ooh, $1 million knee lift. Oh Lord, that cradle did not go well.
Couldn't quite look the big man.
I'm starting to question the tough customer's amateur background here.
I will say that Friday night, the tough customer got that on Big Rock. We had a newer Big Rock.
Roadblock
Throck. Did you put that on him or somebody else? Or was that? I don't remember. He hit it. He got one. I just said he hit it. With a tough customer.
Don't sell it.
But it was a good match. Oh Lord. Yes, but there was, we had a lot of fireworks ourselves that night, even though the fair didn't have any, so my mind is tired. But the crowd was into it. I mean, like, it's just, I know I've said it 1,000 times, it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun.
Because again, like I said, you would never on a regular card see Mickey Falk team up with the tough customer. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
No.
You're not going to see Mickey Falk come out and dance to Digital Underground. That's just.
Oh my God! Did tough customer come out to the Humpty dance?
Yes, he did.
Oh, I'd have been dancing too if I'd been there. What a classic!
Yeah, I was back there in Gorilla, and customer went out, and Mickey was like, "Whose music is that?" And customer was like, "It's mine." And he started walking through the curtain, and some of the other guys back there were like, "Are you going out to that too?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
What a classic! Oh, Digital Underground. It took me a few years to figure out that Shock G and Humpty Hump were the same guy. It just never occurred to me, but I had never seen them live. And they said when you see them live, it kind of gives it away, because they'll be like, yeah, Humpty Hump's going to be out here in a few minutes. And then Shock G disappears, and then Humpty Hump comes out. So I don't think those two have ever been seen in the same place at the same time. Sort of like, Bruce Wayne and Batman. So it looks like Kevin Phoenix is building momentum against the customer. He's getting the old flip, flop, and fly going, it looks like. Although I don't think Dusty delayed that long.
A little floss.
And Mickey Phelps looked like he wanted to drink somebody's soda right there. Oh, wow. He punched him right in the kidney. And now Kevin Phoenix on the top rope. Oh, big elbow right to the rib cage. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Forget about it.
Well,
Mickey Phelps
all over the chair. Tearing up the furniture. It looks like Wahoo McDaniel and Kilby's back in the 70s. Tearing up the furniture. Oh, Lord. And I don't mean Wahoo was falling down drunk, because I don't think you could get that man that drunk. I'm talking about he would break furniture, because somebody had tried to fight him and they'd end up going through a table. So, but anyway, so that looked like a lot of fun. Let's see here. We got to do some advertising talk. Let's see here. If I can get the slideshow up and running. There's a new button here on PowerPoint. Rehearse with coach. Okay, maybe the AI will help you doing presentations for work or whatever. No, that's not going to work. And share screen. All right, you guys should be able to see the slideshow right now.
There it is.
Yeah, we see it.
Premier Auto Detailing. Let's tell you about those. Our friends there. As I take a drink of water. Hands down, the best car cleaning service in town. You call 336-736-2638 for more information. They do auto detailing, just regular car washes. They do commercial as well as residential jobs. If you need them, say you want to use car lot and you're just a small operation, don't want to hire nobody, they can do the fleet washing service for you. Or if you own a business with a lot of trucks and need them cleaned up, they can help you with that as well. They operate in the Mount Airy, Surrey County area, but I'm sure if the price is right, they'll come out a little farther. 336-736-2638
for Premier Auto Detailing. Probably getting time to update this slide. But yeah, they can get that car cleaned up for you. Any vehicle, really. And get it looking ready for the showroom floor. So give them a call, 336-736-2638. As a matter of fact, you call that number right now and ask them if their refrigerator is running. And when they say yes, tell them they better go catch it. But 336-736-2638 for Premier Auto Detailing. We're kidding. Don't do that unless you really want to. Hands down, the best car cleaning service in town, Premier Auto Detailing. T's Creations Custom Apparel offers custom-made T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. They do tumblers. Their new fall Halloween / lineup is here. And you can find them all over the dadgum internet. T's Creations, tscreations22.com, T's Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook, TikTok at T's Creations, and on Shopify. They are all over the place, and they can get you your custom-made gear. They even got those, looks like customizable pin sets available now with those flowers and stuff that you see in the bottom left of your screen. And, yeah, tired of babysitting my mom's grandkids. I don't know. There's something I like about that shirt. I don't know. But T's Creations, check them out. They are all over the place. We have a new sponsor this week, Big D's Grill. Although I do not have any copy to read, all I can tell you is it's a brand new food truck that just opened up that serves Mount Airy. And like T's Treats, but these guys, they kind of focus on meat. I mean, look at the size of this hamburger right here. I mean, look at the cheese coming off that thing, the slaw, using red onions. I couldn't eat that. That'd give me heartburn.
Oh, I love a red onion.
I can't eat them. I like them, but I can't eat them. But yeah, I mean, look at this cheeseburger here, the chicken wings with fries.
Did it say
Philly cheese?
Yeah, look at that Philly steak. That looks great. And it looks
and
brown
chicken wings. I think, I know we don't have copy, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to be there Fright night.
Oh, Friday night, okay.
Yeah.
Big D's Grill. Here's some more photos for you. Yeah. Now I don't know what these are right here. If they're chicken wings, like in some other kind of sauce, I really can't tell. Because the way the picture was taken. But as you can see, they offer Philly cheesesteaks, chicken tenders, chicken wings, burgers, hot dogs, French fries, mini donuts, snow cones. They got it all, man. And look, you can tell by the charred black on these buns. He puts the buns on the grill and browns them, and that makes the buns kind of crunchy.
He told me that about his burgers too, that he grills his buns.
Yeah, you can see the charring on there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that makes the bread kind of crispy, and I kind of like that, you know. So yeah, Big D's Grill. If we find out where they're going to be at next, we will let you know. But to be honest, I just don't know right now. So I know that they were at the Walmart in Mount Airy. It's a big blue food truck. Can't miss it. And bright blue. I mean, just stands out. Except at Walmart, because it was the exact same shade of blue that they used to paint the Walmart building. So it was kind of camouflage, but you'll be able to smell them before you get there. Absolutely great food. Big D's Grill, happy to help out another small business in the Mount Airy area. And if you'd like us to plug your small business, we'll be glad to. Or we can plug your big business. Hey, if you're Verizon or AT&T, price is the same. $10 a month, 4 reads. If we take a week off, don't worry about that. You're going to get 4 for 10. So we're not going to penalize you for us taking a week off. But yeah, $10 a month gets you in the door here at Ringside Wrestling. And, you know, we put, not only do we do the live reads for you on the show, in the description of every video we post on the AIWF Ringside Wrestling channel, we put down your content information, is your contact information. So you have an ad running 24/7 because the YouTube channel is open all day and all night. So just something to keep in mind. We're putting a headlock on high advertising prices. Next live event that we've got coming up, guys, is October the 5th. I'm looking forward to that. Extremely forward to that, as no wrestling is conflicting with my 2 more NASCAR dates in October to finish out the season. So I'm very happy about that because it usually does, but AIWF didn't move NASCAR. So it didn't work that well. I hope it lines up that way in 2025. But anyway, so October the 5th is coming up. Let me see this. What I get, see if I can find the promotional materials so I can show some of that. I know, really compelling TV tonight, guys.
Yep, we're all.
I've been so busy at work
Yeah, the
and all
fair
this
is
kind of stuff.
it's very fun, but it takes it out of you.
Yeah, it does take it out of you.
Yeah. Oh,
Another
3 days in a row.
Yeah, I know.
here's something interesting that's been posted to the AIWF network channel. I will show a screenshot of this. So it's on a link to it is on the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page. Look at this. It was posted this morning. It's a link to Cyberzone 36. The interns with Nikki Valentine. That is not the same Nikki Valentine that is with Sin Crowley. This is a different one. But the interns are actually a very young Andre Chase and his brother. And that is Andre Chase right there. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, just head on over.
Remember.
I remember when they were called Slick and Willie. Well,
was that what they were called?
They were the interns first, and then they were Slick and Willie. Isn't that right, Brian?
I think so. Yeah.
It's
and,
hard.
They defeated Lewis Moore in a handicap match to collectively win the AIWF television title. So they both together held a singles title because they beat the champion in a handicap match. And I wish we could find it. Somewhere out there is a picture of both of them wearing the belt together, like the belt, like the strap is on one side of one and one side of the other.
Oh, that's awesome.
and the belt's in the middle.
That's great. Yes. And they went on to become the Bravado brothers across the independents. And then the one brother got out of wrestling and went into local politics. And the other one became Andre Chase and went to NXT. And so, so that's some interesting history there. You can see them when they
it is.
Yep.
Still wet behind the ears, youngsters.
Yeah, and that's why we keep saying that's one of the reasons to go out. One of the many reasons to go out and support your local independent wrestling, because that's where a lot of the big stars that you're seeing on AEW and WWE, that's where they got their start is indies, just like AIWF Mid-Atlantic.
Yep. Let's see here. I guess this is the most recent poster for Saturday, October 5th. Do not have any match announcements, but my personal hero, Buddy Flowers, is going to be on this card. So the gutsiest performance I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he
put on. Yeah, he lasted a lot longer than I thought he would.
Yeah.
So.
And I see Cam Jackson's going to be back with us. Don't know who this guy is.
That is Tommy Okami. He's coming that week. He is, I believe, from Firestar.
All right.
So he's making his. He actually made his debut Friday night at the fair. But he'll have his official debut on October 5th.
Oh, okay. All right. And so Aaron Wilson, I see on the poster. Jeff
Kelly.
Paul. Yeah, Conno Kelly's going to be back. Yeah, fun. The street wrestler. What's his name? The guy next to Conno Kelly. I'm sorry.
Kay Holiday.
Yeah, Kay Holiday.
You said that in unison.
Yeah, Kay Holiday. Mr. Pride Festival. Oh God. I didn't say his name on the air when we covered it. I just need to leave it alone. But, oh, if I was a little younger and I knew him better, if I knew him better, I'd really rib him pretty hard Saturday. But I don't know him good enough to do that. So but Con O'Kelly, I have to say, is like, I don't know how he does it, but he goes out and wrestles, and then he'll come in the office after he finishes his match, and he still has a nice smell. I don't know how he does it. It's like virtually impossible to go out there and sweat, and fight for 20 minutes and still come back and have a pleasant, it smells like bubble gum. It's incredible. I don't know how the man does it. Bless his heart, I'm sure it's distracting for his opponents, right? He'll grab a headlock on you, and I'm like, wow, he sure smells nice. Bam! Maybe he does it as a distraction. I don't know. Don Carson used to do the exact opposite, right, Brian? He never washed his
yes,
gear.
He did. Purposely not wash his gear for months at a time.
And then there's also, trying to figure out. There's the other guy that I have, my glasses are terrible, that I'm trying to see behind Tommy. I don't know, his picture's
Aaron
too small.
Wilson and Cam Jackson.
Is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah,
like I said, it's small on my screen and my glasses are terrible. So
yeah, and of course and we're just starting to see this. A man that has not been pinned or submitted in the Mid-Atlantic, Jackson Sane, who was victorious over St. Crowley at Deal with the Steel.
Mm-hmm. That surprised a lot of people. There was after that matchup, there was a lot of people in that crowd who were, really shocked by that outcome.
Yeah. Well, I was planning on doing a segment where we watch that video and discuss it tonight, so we're going to do that now for sure. I almost changed my mind on it, but Matt Anderson seems to be back on a regular basis with us. That's always good. One of the more pleasant individuals you'll ever meet. Unless you're facing him in the ring, then God help you. And of course, Joe Harrison, Buddy Flowers, Mickey Fulp, and Ty Tyson, all going to be there Saturday, October the 5th. Tickets are $9 for the floor, $6 for the bleachers, but in Veterans Park, there's not a bad seat in the house. So come on out, and it certainly got wild at the last TV taping, so we're going to see what happens next. This is going to be, there's a lot of scores to be settled and a lot of bad feelings going a long way. I cannot wait to see how this Ty Tyson, Rick Diesel feud, because I mean, it's his son-in-law. I mean, it was a pretty dastardly move to have all the bad guys sick him on him, but he explained his logic last week, and I guess I don't want to be judgmental. Everybody's been saying, "Oh, we want the old Rick Diesel back. We want the old Rick Diesel back." And I used to tell people, going all the way back. So when Joey Nuggs hosted this show with me, guys, be careful what you wish for. And now you got him. So, suck it up, because it's it's not going to be pleasant. Well, I mean, it'll be entertaining, but now he's got a grudge against his own son-in-law, which I just find strange.
Which I mean, who knows? Maybe it's something that has boiled over from personal life. You just never know.
I'm sure it's something like that, though.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe a combination of the two.
Yeah. Like, maybe he sent Ty for supplies for the food truck, and he brought back some cheap weenies or something one time, and it just sent him over the boiling point. So we laughed out. I mean, it's serious business between them, but let's take a look. Let's go back to Deal with the Steel. Anything yet? So you're seeing it for the first time here. It was. I'm not going to turn the sound up so we can talk over it. It was Sin Crowley against Jackson Sane, Nikki Valentine at ringside there, and of course Jezebeth. You can't really see her on the other side of the cage, but she's there. Right? And I was having the cage plays hell with the camera lens, and so it'll get blurry. And when this video does premiere on YouTube in a few weeks, you're going to hear me several times apologize for it going out of focus. But they were having pretty good back and forth match. It was an even match. And I'm gonna tell you what, Jezebeth is not the type of girl that's out there playing dress up. Mm-hmm.
No, she is not.
She's there to help, and I salute her for it. You know, because we had one time we had a girl, I can't remember. It came to a show dressed like a fairy, wearing high heels, and seemed like she was being more of a distraction to the guy she was with. Yeah, we only saw him one time. And she, you know, the guy that she was with ended up losing the match or whatever, and she didn't really actively participate. Jezebeth is not that person. She's definitely there to contribute, and you got to keep your eyes on her. I feel sorry for anybody that gets near her. And sometimes she brings pets to the ring. Sometimes she'll bring a snake or a rat, you know, and don't even think for a minute that they're not real. I mean, because I've seen her showing them to the kids in the parking lot. You know, I mean, they're very much real. What I think how distracting that would be to get bit by a rat if you're over there. I mean, just
or just even the thought of it, you know, just the distraction,
yeah,
of an animal at ringside, and again, like I've said with her before, she gets involved she picks her moment to get involved, but other than that, she's very quiet over there. And sometimes you're watching the match and forget she's even there. Yeah. And then all of a sudden she's reaching and grabbing a foot or giving Jackson Sane a weapon. And, you know, and I'm sure that sometimes his opponent forgets she's out there as well. Yeah. So, you know, instead of being a distraction, she kind of lays low until just the right moment.
Yeah, and what you're going to see her do in this match too. This was a real shocker. You see Sin Crowley, he's got Jackson Sane hurt right here, boy. I mean, he's in big trouble. You can't see it, but he's bleeding.
Yeah, because he had been putting his head into the cage, but what opened him up is he either put his head into the turnbuckle or the top of the ring post. I couldn't really see because it was over on the opposite side, but I could tell he either hit the top of the turnbuckle or that choke slam right there. I mean,
you could see the blood on him there, and you see Dalen putting on the gloves. And there's Jezebeth. You talked about you don't see her until it's too late, and then she's got Nikki Valentine, which distracts Sin Crowley, and she rams Nikki Valentine into the cage anyway.
I think Nikki Valentine needs to sign up for some self-defense courses myself.
I do too. I think she is. Don't get me wrong. She is a nice lady, but she is too much of a distraction for Sin Crowley at ringside. I firmly believe that. I don't know. I know she wants to be a part and try to help, but this was the exact opposite. She cost him the match right here because now Jackson Sane can't really see it, but that's a mandible claw he's got locked in, looks like to me. And I'm going to tell you what.
And he had he has a plastic bag.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Over his face.
So, wow. So was it just a plastic bag, or did he have a plastic bag and a mandible claw attached? It was just a bag?
I couldn't really tell. I know he had the plastic bag, but I don't know if he had any other hold besides that. I was just shocked by the bag itself.
Yeah, this is before the Moxley thing with with Daniel Bryan the other week. Let's see if we can see it again. Again, the cage. I'm telling you, man, the cage just plays hell with video cameras. Yeah, he's got the bag on him.
It's very hard. That's why I have to have Tim in there. So that, you know, so we had the action in the ring, but all the entrances were like rough looking on the camera because of the I think he just
I think what you were seeing, I think you were seeing Sin Crowley. I think he had his hand in his own mouth. I think he was trying to put a hole in the plastic bag so he could breathe. So there was a hand in Sin Crowley's mouth, but I think it was his own trying to puncture the bag so that he could breathe.
Well, that was very disturbing. It was a gruesome way to end a match, and look at the blood all over him of Jackson Sane. And again, once this is published to YouTube, folks, it'll be a little bit clearer. But yeah, I don't know. I think Nikki Valentine's a nice lady and a great person, but she may need to stay away from ringside because that's
she does a good job of rallying the crowd behind Sin Crowley, but I mean the crowd is pretty much behind him already, and she's out there for moral support. But yeah, you're right. He's just going to have to weigh the weigh the options and see if that if her moral support is if that outweighs the distraction.
Yeah, because I don't want her to get hurt. I mean, she is such a nice lady. I don't want her to get hurt, but when you're hanging around ringside, anything can happen. And Jezebeth, if you talk to her, is pretty sharp to the wrestling business, and I think she's probably saw somewhere along the line that Nikki Valentine can be a big distraction for Sin Crowley, and I honestly think that. I mean, you saw how fast Jackson Sane came with that plastic bag, and that had to be in their game plan. Like, like if I get in trouble, I mean, Brian, you've devised some devilish schemes throughout the years. I mean, it seems like to me, like it was, if I get in big trouble, you go over there and grab Nikki and that'll give me a minute or two to get my shit together. And then I can,
yeah. You could see that. Yeah. That was definitely plan B. And they executed it perfectly.
Yeah, so kudos to them. Let's see here. We got stuff coming up October the 5th or something else.
And for those that are in Ivanhoe, they'll be wrestling next weekend, AIWF, and then JD. What is the? It's in Ivanhoe, the same place at the fire department.
That's a cool little venue. I saw a video.
Yeah, it is.
We got an episode of Mid-Atlantic 473 that will be premiering on this channel on October 2nd, where one of the matches is from up there. It's Matt Anderson against, I didn't write the guy's name down. It's in the notes on the episode. Glam Alex Rose. And it's from, I don't know, it's from a few months ago, I think. But cool looking little venue. Also, coming up later this week, on the this channel, the Ringside Wrestling channel, you're finally going to get to see one of the most brutal matches we've seen in the last several months. Ghazi Devereaux against the Great Sasaki for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Championship. And I was so glad that finally came up in the queue to be on YouTube, because I just cannot wait for people to see it.
That was a fantastic match.
Yes, it was.
And the one that the triple threat they had with Clara Carter involved in it, honestly, I thought it was kind of a stinker. And it was a 3-way match, and there was just a lot going on. But when they were able, because you got to watch Clara, man, she'll just like get out of the way and lurk and strike like a rattlesnake. And you got to always be watching your 6 when you're in a multi-person match with Clara. And I think that when they got in there and it was just them and they were able to let that hatred pour out, it was just the violence. It was just such a violent match. And I thought it was great. Speaking of violent matches, go ahead, Brian.
But I was just going to say the difference in strategies of a 3-way versus 1-on-1. It's just like the difference of tag team wrestling and singles. It's just a completely different ball game, and some people, it just throws them off their game to have that extra person in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like multi-man matches or multi-women matches because of that. Anytime like WWE announces a three-way match for a pay-per-view, I'm like, ugh. Now, one thing they've started doing is if they're having number one contender tournaments on Raw and SmackDown, they'll have triple threat matches for those, but it won't be as many. You know what I mean? They'll just have like 2 or 3, well, always an even number, either 2 or 4 triple threat matches and then have a final and to determine the number one contender. And that's kind of okay because you're giving more people the opportunity, but you're just doing it quicker, instead of having to run a singles tournament that lasts a month. And then they get to the pay-per-view and the champion destroys them. And you're like, well, shit, I was so interested in that tournament all month. And, we posted Ryan Manis and Lazarus Black for the World Hardcore Championship. You guys remember that match a few months back. And I got to thank you fans. Y'all, it started up the day it published, went up Thursday. Man, I looked at it Thursday night and I was just like, oh man, are you kidding me? Not these two. It was just, it was getting, I don't want to say average, but it was getting an abnormally low amount of views compared to other stuff on the channel. And then Friday, I guess it worked its way into people's algorithms on Friday because it's knocking on the door of 2,000 views now. And for us,
oh wow,
we don't even have 2,000 subscribers. That's good. So that's like, I was telling somebody at the last show, I was like, anything that gets over 500 views is really good for us. Anything that gets over 1,000 is viral for us. So kudos to them. They've almost doubled that. So if you hadn't seen it, check it out. It's a great match. So, and we got more stuff coming for you over the next couple of weeks. So surprisingly, only 26 people have watched the Charles Rourke video. Wrestling fans do not give a shit about old TV guys from Martinsville. Do not. Oh, and Cyberzone 35 is out. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Brian, but it's got you and a very young Justin Flash on it in a one-on-one match.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I had seen it. It had shown up on my Facebook feed, and I just kind of started watching it without the sound. And I was like, and I had I thought I had remembered the ending, and I was like, wait, no, I thought that was the end. Nope. Oh, there it is.
Because Justin Flash commented too that he remembered that match, but he had never known where it was to watch it again, and he was real excited for it to be up. So,
well, at the time, we had remember when we had the last television producer and footage, we would shoot footage and it would just go away and never show up anywhere. Well, we were fighting that same battle at a different time. At that time back then too, was somebody who was not North Carolina person, AC, and the videos would be sent to be produced and put together and uploaded, and I don't know if they were ever put together, produced, or put anywhere. But now we have all that stuff back, and it's being gone through. All this archive stuff is back in the hands of the owner and is being gone through now. And so we're finally, I'm telling you folks, the reason all this old stuff is going up is because we're going through the archives, finding it. Oh, I remember that. That was awesome. Up to YouTube. Because the thing that we're in, and you say, well, a lot of the videos you guys post on Ringside are the same as the network. Yeah, because we don't want this stuff lost to time. We want it to be available for public consumption because we had so much fun doing these shows. We want to share them with everybody. So
I went through years and years and years of having like 3 pictures from when I was wrestling and doing stuff with the family. Like, and I was always saying, I said, I don't have anything to show for it except these 3 pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to see. I don't think I've wrestled on any of them, but it's nice to see me doing my thing, you know, to have, because like you said, I felt like it was all just lost. We did have so much fun back then, and we were making waves, not just in North Carolina, but in a lot of places. There was that article in the wrestling magazine about how hardcore we were, and like we always had huge write-ups in those, and like so we were, really I think we were making the foundation of AIWF wrestling back then, and I think it's good to be able to see it so you can see the the evolution of that late 90s, early 2000s into what we have now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can follow, if you go back, you can follow Justin Flash's career from his beginnings in the AIWF to now being once again the Mid-Atlantic champion.
Oh, look at you. Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, and that's the great thing. Justin Flash came along about the time that we really got our act together as far as being able to film and archive stuff. I mean, we did pretty good in the 90s, but we were doing way better by this point. This is about the time mini DV cameras came around, and it just stuff started improving technology-wise to made it so much easier. You didn't have to have switcher boards and all kinds of stuff. I mean, you could run mics directly into the cameras, and they were coming with USB ports, and things started getting easier around the mid 2000s as far as production goes.
Mm-hmm.
And you were able to capture that stuff.
Well, we were going from that big old camcorder that was like directly into a VCR that was recorded.
Look at that guy.
Look at that young, cute person.
Yeah.
Look.
Then.
Like a baby.
Yeah. And this is actually probably around 06 when we were doing these, because I would ride down to Mount Airy on Wednesday night and we'd shoot the thing in front of the set and everything. And so this was 06, 07. So
I would like to know if AC still has that airbrush banner. See, I'd like to
see if you can identify the people in this. It looks like Jason Blade and Chris Severn right there.
Chris Severn
and with the leather boy hat.
Yeah, and I think one of those guys was Gemini.
Who was the guy in the white?
This is a referee. I can't. It's Smiley, I think.
No, in the white cutoff shirt.
Oh, Jason Blade.
Jason Blade.
Is that Jason Blade with brown hair?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our advertisement. I'll read that later. Don't worry, Ace. I got you. Here's the match we were talking about, though. That is a young Justin Flash in that ring. And Brian, what building is this? Do you remember?
It's Pofftown.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Pofftown? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I recognize it.
Yeah, see, this was at a time that I was working on weekends and couldn't come to the live shows, but I could help with TV. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
I just remember when Justin Flash came on the scene and everybody was like, ooh, we were so impressed by him. I was like, I've seen kids like this a dime a dozen come and go. I thought, I wasn't impressed until I got in the ring with him. And then it's like, okay, maybe I underestimated this kid. And obviously I did, because, he's not only is he still around, he is the current heavyweight champion.
Yeah. A lot of people have
just standing there.
That's one of Brian's goons from back in the day.
Probably Michael.
Yeah, I think so.
Fallen Angel. What was his? I don't know. Dark Angel.
Yeah.
But yeah, Justin Flash, and what's so great about Justin Flash is he hasn't missed a step. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. From here all the way to 2024, he has not missed a step in his wrestling abilities.
No,
I mean, he's just gotten better and better.
And
But
and look how strong he was back then. I mean,
Yeah.
he picked me up in that power slam like it was nothing.
yeah,
I mean, that's what shocked me about him is how strong he was at like 180. And so, I mean, I can't even imagine how much stronger he's gotten now that he's over 200 pounds.
no, he's got two boys, so I know he's got enough speed and strength to catch them and give them whippings when they need it. So
well, and he's the soft. He plays softball.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, and Justin Flash, yeah, really like focused on being a family guy. You know, that was one of the things he was so serious about. And I love this right here. I don't love it for Justin Flash, but this is pretty awesome, Brian. See the sledgehammer? Watch this. Boom! Right
Oh,
over his head.
I don't remember.
That's some good aim right there.
No kidding, man. I mean,
That was
Impressing myself there.
yeah, that was square. When this video premieres, that is the still shot for the thumbnail. Is Justin Flash's feet straight up in the air when Brian connects with that DDT. Again, this one will be coming up on the Ringside Wrestling Channel in a couple of weeks. I got it programmed out for a while now because I'm going out of town next week.
Just threw him out. Mm-hmm. I don't recognize that ref either. Definitely not Smiley.
Maybe not one of the longtime referees. Maybe
yeah, he's probably one of those that kind of came and went.
Oh, that's that barbed wire chair. Oh, that was nasty. All right, and before anybody says anything, this is 2006. We didn't know what we know about concussions now.
No, we did not, and we say all the time that we did not know, and I'm taking that. Yeah, that's affected me now. So.
Yeah, I don't. But I damn sure ain't gonna apologize for it because it was fucking awesome then, and it's still awesome now. Did you? Oh Lord! You remember we were talking about that Swerve Strickland Adam Page match? Speaking of Justin Flash, Adam Page, I think Justin Flash would be right up there with Adam Page if he had not decided to focus so much on his family.
Mm-hmm.
And if
I think so too, yeah.
And if he'd have logged the miles to Japan, and I mean, definitely just as skilled, but Adam was willing to make a bigger sacrifice. Like where some of us wanted to get married or just hang around Philpott Lake and smoke pot, didn't have the dedication or the drive to go for the big time. Adam Page did. But did you hear all the
thing? It's, some people it's because that was one of the reasons we stopped was because we had our family and let them grow up and stuff. Cause it's hard to tote babies. It's not like Don Carson did a good job of toting his around everywhere, but it's hard to tote. It's hard to tote the little ones around every weekend of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is. It takes a sacrifice to get not just wrestling. Any kind of any kind of sport or any kind of if you wanted to get into any kind of entertainment, there's you got to hit the road and get yourself out there.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, I thought you had Justin Flash on the ropes, but he came back with a couple of. I probably hadn't seen this since it happened.
Right.
Look at that! Oh, that chair was wrapped in barbed wire too. That wasn't bad enough on its own.
I don't know. That guy's excited.
Oh, look, it's got your hair. It's Brian's hair's called.
Yeah, that's probably why we have. Yeah, that's why we had to cut that beautiful, beautiful hair. It's getting caught in the barbed wire too much.
But like I said, I underestimated Justin Flash more than once and paid the price for it. Yeah, you think you've got him down, you think you've got him beat, and he somehow manages to come back, and that has not gone away.
Oh, is he gonna pop Michael? Yep.
Yep.
That's the
Oh, he's got
rescue.
the bat after him. Boy, Justin
Mhm.
Flash, I didn't remember him being this vicious when he was young.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's got a mean streak. That's another thing about him. You know, one of the nicest guys you can meet, but you get in a fight with him, and yeah, he'll bring it right back to you.
I have drank with that man, and let me tell you something. Anybody that can put down that much liquor and not be affected seemingly by it is a tough bastard. You know, I mean, if he was, you couldn't tell it. And we never accomplished it, but there's been a couple of times he and I over the years have tried to drink all the liquor in Surrey County in a night. And and I'm gonna tell you what, it seemingly has no effect on him. You know, he's one tough bastard in every sense of the word, Brian. I think that he could probably give Chains a run for his money.
Yeah.
Oh, I do
Or just
too.
get funny because Chains is like 3 times bigger than him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not saying it, size ain't got nothing. Well, she's older now, so I don't know.
Yeah, we know.
Justin Flash 2006 against Chains 2006. It would be close. It would be close. Uh-oh.
And again, there you go. You think you've got Justin Flash beat. You think you got him down. And nope.
Then you put poor Michael through the table. Justin Flash knows he's got to make something happen. But yeah, no. Rookie, I don't want to say rookie mistake, but, young mistake there. And it's easy. We're sitting here watching this, 18 years after the fact,
Mm-hmm.
and saying, oh, that was a mistake. But like you were saying earlier, Brian, when you're in the heat of battle, I mean, and this is pretty intense.
Go for it.
Look at people on the other side of the ring on their feet. Look at this. Woohoo! Oh, did he land on a table? Oh,
I think he did.
He missed
Clear
the shit out
across
of
the
that.
room.
Did you pin him?
Oh.
No, it was two.
No. That was two.
Wow.
Yeah. Nobody was more shocked than me.
That's something I've never been able to say into a microphone until podcasting came. And I always say it when I'm watching wrestling at home or at a live event. Somebody misses, I'll be like, wow, he missed the shit out of that. But you can't call a match for a videotape like that.
No.
That's not exactly professional, but that's what I'm always thinking. Uh-oh. Flash effect? No, he missed it.
I hung on to the rope,
Yeah.
but then he
Oh.
Oh, look at that. Goodness gracious.
Oh, he pinned you, Brian. Sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I was going
Wow,
for the
at
ball
that time,
driver.
that was a major upset at that time.
Yeah, I was
and the
going for the
referee's
ball driver, and he rolled out and landed on his feet. And what made me really mad was not only did he beat me for the hardcore title, he beat me for the hardcore title with a schoolboy.
Yeah, that is what.
All right,
Look at
now
that. There's the Bravado brothers.
Now I remember why they were the intern. Now I remember this.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were Rick Diesel's
Those
interns.
interns.
Yes.
Let's see. There's Andre Chase right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're saying here. Let's see if we can hear.
Next week. Backside.
I remember that. It was like, I have a plan for Sweet Daddy. What is it? I'm not going to tell you now. Next week.
2007 is what the copyright said. Yeah.
Those
Oh my.
So 17 years ago. So hard to believe it, isn't it? It's 2024 now. Oh mercy.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having whatever. I don't know if it's always fun, but time does fly.
Not
Yeah,
always fun, but it's definitely interesting.
yeah, no kidding. I love looking back at the older stuff and remember,
Mhm.
what was going on at the time. Let me read my copy here. This is our friends at Branch Management. They were our first sponsor. They do landscaping. They sell plants. It's October, almost October. So it's fall pretty much. I mean, except we had false fall and then it got hot again this weekend. But planting season is coming up, guys. So if you want that landscaping work done, these are the people you need to call in Mount Airy. 336-648-2487. 336-648-2487. Branch management. Give them a call. They cut grass, prune bushes, prune trees. They'll help you out with that landscaping work. And if if you like me, I got a couple of dead dogwoods out here in the back, and I want to replace them with maples because maples, turn bright red during autumn, and I think they're so awesome looking. And so, now's the time to get those trees in the ground. I don't know why you plant them right before cold weather hits, and that's the way it's supposed to do. They need that first winter when they're young to dig the roots in and get plenty of water. So, T's Treats is the official concession of AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, and best wrestling concessions anywhere. You got to prove me wrong, and you can't. 336-755-8204. You can see where they're going to be at. They just finished up the Surrey County Fair, and who knows where they're off to next. But they're locally owned food truck based in Mount Airy, and love the hot dogs. Love that. What is that? A funnel cake with looks like fried apples on it?
Yeah, they've got they're bringing back a red velvet one. I think they have a pumpkin one maybe, or that has spice in it like that. The apple one. I do know that for the Autumn Leaves Festival, they're going to actually be at the Autumn Leaves Festival this year, in the festival. And then I think there's also a car show that weekend, so they'll be at the park in the building also, in the stand.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Autumn Leaves Festival comes up in October.
Yeah, I think it's the week after. I think it's the weekend after our show on the 5th. I think it's that next weekend.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's Charlotte race weekend, so I'm going to have to miss that, but that's all right. But there you can see T's Treats at the Mayberry Deputy, probably tried to write Rick Diesel a ticket for something. Yeah, Barney fight. He's getting just as bad as that Barney fight. Yeah, but no. All right, and now to our friends in Virginia. Secondhand Heroes and Home for Wayward Villains is a gaming store that also features collectible toys, retro gaming consoles, as well as free-to-play arcade cabinets. I've had to rewrite that. And they have Magic the Gathering casual play as well as tournaments. They host Dungeons and Dragons campaigns several times a week. Located at 18184 Leesville Road in Evington, Virginia, Secondhand Heroes is your one-stop shop for you to get your nerd on. Yeah. Open 7 days a week at 11 a.m. They don't stop until the dice stop rolling. They buy, sell, trade, barter, and haggle, specializing in collectibles of all types, both vintage and modern. Table space for Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, or any other tabletop game. You can even bring your own tabletop game and host your game night with us. I think we ought to have a Chutes and Ladders tournament. But anyway, they feature...
Go ahead. I'll tell later.
Let's see if I can slip that one by. And if we really want to get hardcore about it, do a Candyland tournament. They feature older console games like Nintendo and Sega classics for your play enjoyment, as well as 25 arcade cabinets with hundreds of your old school favorites, all set to free play. Their Monday night D&D group has been running for over a year, and they welcome newcomers, both experienced and inexperienced. They host video game competitions for games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, just to name a few. You can reach out to them at 434-317-0121 to set up your game night. The email is secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. That's secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. Now, don't spell out the word second. Do the abbreviation with the number 2 and then ND. secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. And here's some of the look of the championship belts you can win for playing the tournaments and whatnot. So Secondhand Heroes, check them out. I know they're going to end up doing a field trip up there one of these days. We got a cat on a Zoom meeting like that. Like that never happens.
No, it's Tully. It's a Tully. Named after Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard. Tully, get that bull, Tully. I had, and I don't know what happened to it, but I had a tape that somebody in the audience filmed in Greensboro back in January of '86. I was able to figure this out by what was going on. It was the night Arn Anderson won the television title tournament. I remember when they broke Dusty's leg and he had to give up the title, and so. But there's one of the matches earlier in the tournament is Ron Bass versus Tully Blanchard. And there's a guy somewhere at ringside near the camera guy that does not like Ron Bass. And Ron Bass was a good guy at this time. And the whole match, you hear him going, "Get that bull, Tully. Get that bull. Get that bull, Tully." I mean, he does it the whole match. And this match is like 7-8 minutes long. And it gets to the point, Ron Bass gets up at one point. He knocks Tully down, gets up and walks over to that side of the ring. Is like, "Have you got a problem, motherfucker?" You know, like,
oh my God. That's the thing. It's like, people just don't know what it was like.
I'm telling you, man, Greensboro in the '80s was it was a special place and a special crowd. And the closest thing I could get to it these days is Greensboro for wrestling now is electric. You know, even at WWE, I've been up there when we went up there for Starrcade back in 2017, non-televised event. Place was going crazy, but I must say, in my heart of hearts, I must say, the best professional wrestling crowd that I've ever been in is here in Charlotte for WWE. They are just great. I mean, so old school. All the parents are my age, so all the kids have
That's
been.
us.
All the trains, all the kids have been trained by their parents to boo the bad guys and cheer the good guys, and it's just a wonderful, not cynical audience. As you can see, Brian and Reagan having, let's say, maybe an ass whipping is coming up soon.
Sorry, we're dealing with children.
Yeah, I saw some intense parroting going on. That's why I was like,
well, they were over there messing around the internet. Oh, she's going to argue with me on the podcast. And I said, "Don't, you're going to make us lose our internet."
Yeah. Don't poke.
Please don't fuss with me while I'm on my podcast.
You know, I found it's talking about kids messing with electronics. You know, I found out today. Do you know why the Super Nintendo had a curved top? When it was released, it was somewhat. It had, you know, it wasn't a flat top like the regular Nintendo Entertainment System when it was released in the U.S. Because kids, they had gotten letters that kids were putting soft drinks on top of the Nintendo Entertainment System and would turn them over, and the liquid would go into the machine and destroy it. And so they had gotten letters from consumers saying it. So they made the top curve so kids couldn't put soda cans on it. Isn't that weird?
That is, yeah.
I found a new a retro video game channel on YouTube where the guy is like gives all this detailed history of video games back when I was a kid and a teenager. And I find that stuff fascinating. I don't game much today anymore, you know, other than a few games on Apple Arcade. I still do the Oregon Trail every now and then. That's fun. I don't care who you are.
I'm playing. I have a game on my Switch I've been playing called Stardew Valley. So that's what I play.
Now the Switch, that's the one. Is that the one you can hook up to the TV as well as play?
Yeah. Well, that they have one that look like I'm doing They have one that you hook up to the TV and you can take out. These are Switch Lights, so they're just handheld. So
they're like a Game Boy, the modern Game Boy.
Yeah. So yeah, but the screen is like 1,000 times bigger and better. So
no,
I spend my time playing that. It's a farming life game, so play it. It's good. But what have I been? Oh, I've been talking to you a little bit off and on about that terrible sold out pay-per-view. I've been trying to get through this It's 96. Did I say 96?
No, first sold out was 97,
No,
I believe. No, it was 96.
Yes.
Well, no, it was 97. Yeah.
Anyway, whatever year it is. Whew. I don't know why anybody, the only people who have won on this pay-per-view, this very first NWO sold out.
Yeah, where
All
they come in
NWO.
on the garbage trucks, right?
Yes, and then like nobody this WCW gets to come out with music.
Yeah.
So far, the only WCW team that won, of course, is the Steiners, because I'm not sure that I've ever seen the Steiners lose.
Oh, I know a
trying
match where they lose. Against Dr. Death and Terry Gordy, Clash Champion,
Oh, okay.
June 1992.
Yeah, so I don't know. They were like the only ones, but it's just it makes me, because people have heard me talk about how huge I was into wrestling then, and looking back on it, I'm like, ugh, what was I thinking? But they also did. I must have not have been watching with my friends yet in that time, because they were having, which I can't figure out if it was real or fake. They had women there they had a Miss NWO contest, and all the women were like not attractive.
Yeah.
And they were, but then I thought maybe it was a work, but then they started talking to them, and like they were like terrible on the mic. So I'm like, are these real people? And I know I wasn't watching, because trust me and my three friends that were watching rest of the time would definitely have sent in videos for that. So.
Yeah. Eric Bischoff talked about that one time on his podcast when they did a watch along. And I think that like those were like real local girls. I don't know that they actually flew in anybody that like sent in a tape or whatever, but those were real like local chicks that they found at a biker bar or something like that. Is the way.
Oh my god, this whole pay-per-view is just trash.
It seems like they would have at least talked to them to see if they could give more than one-word answers to their questions.
See, you wouldn't think so, but that's WCW's MO at that time. I mean,
because one of them was like, Vincent likes to dress up in a suit and tie. If you're with Vincent, what are you going to wear? And they're like, I don't know. I guess I'd dress up. Like, that's what they sound like. It's terrible. Like Kevin Nash goes by Big Sexy. What would you do if you were with Big Sexy? And the person's like, I guess I'd enjoy myself. It's just crazy stuff that made no sense. And the guy that was interviewing him, I had never seen before or after.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest. It's the weird. If you want to see WCW in their heyday of nonsense, and you have some time, don't watch it all because it's terrible. Just go to Peacock, pull that up, and just have a look.
Sold out.
Mm-hmm. It was.
I was really heavily into it at the time, and I remember that pay-per-view was promoted as not being a WCW pay-per-view. It was completely going to be produced and run by the NWO. So they purposely had to make it look a little more rustic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that they did, like when Jericho came out for the first match, you hear they don't even use a real ring announcer. They use a recorded voice, and it said, "This first loser," and they would always talk trash about the opponents, right? Yeah.
And then every once in a while over the PA, you would hear it go in the WCW voice, "Loser." Just randomly through the night, "Loser."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is and that was in their heyday. That was when they were becoming the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I just, hindsight's 2020, isn't that what they say?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was funny though, because Vincent came out and he tripped. It was
so what was so odd about that show is though, like the NWO were supposed to be these hated heels or whatever. Hated bad guys to not get, well, you guys know, if you're still watching this video at this point, you know wrestling terminology. But like they had made it to these hated heels. People were throwing drinks at them at the live event, throwing crap in the ring. Then they do Sold Out, and they come riding in on the garbage trucks in the intro, and they're like, Scott Hall's like, "Yo, we're the working man's heroes. You come to see the NWO," and X-Pac's doing the same thing. And I'm just like, well, they're trying to come off as the good guys here. And then Ted DiBiase is on commentary with the who was it on commentary? Bischoff, Ted DiBiase,
And Lee, God, Stagger Lee. Oh,
Stagger Lee. Who was Stagger
Marshall?
Lee Lee Marshall. Okay.
Stagger Lee. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
When you say Stagger Lee, I
he was
think of
one of-
Junkyard Dog in Mid South. But
I think people referred to him also as Stagger Lee Marshall.
Yeah.
So. But he was, of all the commentators in all the lands, he is one of the worst. I mean, and I figure it's because, I mean, he was in AWA with Bischoff, so I assume when Bischoff came to WCW, he brought him with him. Because, you know, he did the 1-800-COLLECT location things during Nitro. Do you remember those?
Yeah, where he go to the next town. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'd always end it with an insult to Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
So,
and Bobby Heenan liked him.
I'm sure. I'm just saying it wasn't. I didn't like. Even back then, I was like, ugh. But this pay-per-view, it's one of the worst I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
the voice of Tony the Tiger, by the way.
I haven't got to the 2000s yet, so
that's way worse. But I remember that night. It happened in January. And I watched that show just out of morbid curiosity. And because it was Sunday night and wrestling. And because I wanted to know, like, what was going to be the point of this? If the NWO is putting on their own show, they're going to win every match. You know, they're just going to, you know, their opponents aren't going to have a chance. And for the most part, that's what happened. And then the Signers fucked around and won the tag team title from Hall and Nash, which was a huge upset because you didn't figure it would happen on that show. You know, what was it? Nick Patrick got knocked out and Randy Anderson came in the ring and counted to 3.
Yes. And Randy Anderson he was just in a turtleneck.
Yeah. And he got fired for that the next night on Nitro. And then Eric Bischoff started getting WCW's officers started getting calls from Randy Anderson's church saying that, you know, he didn't do anything wrong. He's a cancer survivor. You know, you can't fire him from his job because Randy didn't smarten him up. And I thought that I thought, but honestly, that is sweet that they think so much of you. They're like, they can't fire Randy. Get me the Atlanta phone book. I need the number for CNN. You know, I mean, they actually got on the phone and did something. You know, I mean.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was on, but there was one show where a fan got in the ring and the person that took him down was Randy Anderson and like held them down and stuff. And I'm like, how much shame would you feel when you sobered up that you know that you got in the ring and the person that kicked your ass was Randy Anderson?
I think that was on Halloween Havoc 95 during Savage's match where that guy came in the ring and was going after Randy Savage. Yeah, boy. I saw one of the funniest things. Another one of those bootlegs that I got out of Greensboro was one. They were having a 6-man. It was, I guess it was in '86. It was Ivan Nikita and Crusher Khrushchev against the Road Warriors and Baron von Raschke. And some guy got the great idea that it would be a good idea to go grab Nikita Koloff's ankle and try to pull him off the ring apron right in the middle of the match. And I will just say this. I met Nikita Koloff in person. That guy is lucky. Nikita Koloff down deep is a nice guy because that could have ended, especially in 1986. Remember how big Nikita was back in those days? He's still big. He's just thinner now.
That was the shocking thing. He was that AIWF, and I don't know how old he's now, but he looks tough now, and I just think about how big he must have been then.
Yeah. Well, let's say this Greensboro PD got to the guy first, and I'm sure they look like they would have been a lot more gentle than the Russians could have been. I was just thinking, boy, it's lucky Ivan is in the ring right now, because if he was on the apron and you did that, Ivan's from the old school. It probably wouldn't have been. I don't know. I don't think it would have ended as well for that fan as it did that night. And then I think I was in Roanoke one night for a house show at WCW, and during the intermission, a guy jumped up in the ring and started doing the Ric Flair strut, and the cop started running to the ring, and he dove out and ran across the floor, and everybody was cheering him, as he ran through the ringside seats. But as soon as he got to the back, he put his hands up and surrendered, because and the guy leaned over to me and he goes, "Hey, I'm from New York. And if he would have done that in Madison Square Garden, they wouldn't have been so nice." And I was like, "Oh," I said, what would have been different? He said, "Oh, it would have been about 10 cops with billy clubs, and they would have beat him half to death." Like, I was like, "Holy shit." Like, that's kind of hard being rough with a drunk. But I've heard stories from a coworker that grew up in Miami in the 70s, and dad would take him to Dolphins games at that old Orange Bowl stadium. And I know you guys as wrestling fans have heard that's in a rough neighborhood. And Tim told me that people would get to fighting in the crowd, get drunk, get to fighting in the crowd, and the cops would come. This is how different police work is now than it used to be. And would just be like, "Move," and they'd give an order to move. And if you didn't jump out of their way, they would just start working their way down the row of seats with their batons, just whacking anything that moved. It's like, that's like the NFL. This did not sound like it was much fun to go to in person back in the 70s.
No, it didn't. I may have asked this before, but I don't remember. Has anybody ever got in the ring at an AIWF show?
I don't think so.
No, we've had them get close. I thought they were that night that Clara grabbed Rose Tyson and threw it at Jack.
Oh yeah, that night. Yeah, that was that night. That's probably the closest.
That was a little scary. That was. Well, she's it all happened so fast. Again, that was the night I learned how scary fast Clara was, because it's just like I'm standing there, Rose Tyson is asking me something not related to wrestling, and then all of a sudden there's Clara and Rose is in the ring in a sleeper, and I'm just like, what happened? And just glad I actually made it out of there without getting hurt. Do you remember I remember we had a couple of close calls at Bassett, Brian. Like one time you had to come out there and save me and Billy from, I guess, a drunk fan who was mad that Cyclone lost his match that night or something and was yelling at us, and you had to come out there because we were trying to close the show. We were actually rolling video, and I just remember Brian being like, "Hey, don't you bother our announcers." And I was just like, because I didn't know what to do. I'd never been confronted by an angry fan. It was my first year. We were all trying to think back.
Something happened to me with the fan. Do you remember? I'm just vague, and it wasn't like that. Like, it was like creepy.
Yeah, it was. We were out. I can't remember where it was. It was a high school gym, though. And Big Don and some of the security guys
had to remove him because he was like coming after me.
Was it
like not in a
was it in Virginia or North Carolina? Do you remember?
Was it in
I think it might have been Virginia.
Yeah,
it was Virginia.
And I don't.
That was the night I split my head open because we had the curtain between the two doors, and I went to slide through the curtain in the middle of the curtain like I would normally do, but there was a big metal bar there.
Oh, I guess that was Bassett. I bet it was Bassett.
So it was probably that crazy guy from Fieldale that would always come down there and start shit with black hair. He'd be ready to fight everybody.
I don't remember, but like he wasn't going to fight me. He was going to attack me. Like he was coming after me like that. And like Big Don and them politely removed him. I'll say.
I remember Big Don carried that kid, the one I'm talking about, and you could see, I think it's at Spring Jam in '98. Big Don had to remove him, and like the camera pans over to this side of the ring because that's where the action is. I think the wrestlers maybe are on that side of the ring or it's spilled out to the floor, and this is in the Bassett Community Center, the room with the low ceiling, and you see Big Don with a full-sized American teenager under his right arm, carrying him out the door. I mean, he just picked him up and carried him out the door with one arm. It was incredible. And you see that on the video. Because I remember when
That's
we watched
hilarious.
it, we watched it at a Christmas party or something. Somebody spotted it. And we backed it up and paused it. And we were all just dying laughing. You know.
I have to say, I never felt scared of anybody with Big Don there.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, he kept things under control.
Yeah, he must have had some kind of background in security or crowd control because he seemed like he could sniff like any good bouncer or security guard can see the trouble brewing long before it ever comes to a head and get out in front of it. So, you know, and I wouldn't know the first thing about that. So, but anyway, we've devolved into security guard tales. So I think that's about time to shut down this podcast at this point. But join us.
yeah, but it's our security guards.
Yeah, Big Don was awesome. Still is awesome. He's up in Virginia somewhere, as far as I know. Anyway, we'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel next week. Hopefully, everything goes well. On October the 5th, join us out at Veterans Park for the next. I tell you what, if the last TV taping was anything like what we can expect, this one on the 5th going into Fright Night, Lord, I don't know. Hold on to your hats. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So we will see you on October 5th. And just keep your eyes on the channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. We need you to do all that kind of stuff if you're watching on YouTube. It's a big help. Thank you so much, as we're getting up close to 1,700 subscribers right now. And I'm just so thrilled by that. I can't tell you enough how happy that makes me. We figured if we got 300, we'd be doing good. So, but anyway, any final thoughts before we shut her down?
No, but we only got 3 more shows left before we take our winter break.
Yep.
So if you want to see us, you got to come the next 3. So before we take off our winter break. So
yeah, get your wrestling in.
Yep, get your live wrestling in. So we'll see you October.
It'll be a while.
Yeah. Yep. So we get your wrestling in. We will see you on October the 5th. So for Brian and Reagan Danzig, I am Mad Matt Carter. We'll see you next week, fans. And until next time, so long for now.